Ambassador Veena Sikri, former diplomat, joins us on the broadcast. Sumit Peer, political commentator, is also here with us. Major Mohammed Ali Shah, Empire Media panelist, also joins us on the broadcast. Last but by no means the least, Rahul Ishwar, Hindu activist, is also joining us to talk more about this. Mohammed Ali Shah, where do you stand on this? Do you think that the balance between communities and these religious lines are so fragile that they can be broken, they can be tampered with at a drop of a hat? Don't you think that we should have something to learn from these clashes, that there is intolerance, hence we should be more tolerant whenever something like this transpires?
Absolutely, Vineet. We should be more tolerant, definitely, and there's something to learn from it. There's a lot to learn from it. In fact, we should also be speaking about people who are actually, like in Kota, they were Muslims who actually came in for the Hanuman Jayanti celebrations and who took part and who in fact helped out. There are temples in Karnataka and in Kerala who gave out verses from the Quran during the Ram Navami festival. They are mosques which read out verses from the Bhagavad Gita, in fact. So we should talk about good things as well. But yes, unfortunately and sadly, it is condemnable, highly reprehensible, and it's really embarrassing for a Muslim like me to hear that such a thing is happening abroad. When Smith was speaking, I was feeling embarrassed. But at the same time, I'm a right-thinking Muslim and I respect all faiths, and that's why people respect my faith as well. But this kind of thing is certainly, as you brought out rightly in the beginning, it is done by fringe elements who are not the representatives of the community, who give a very, very bad name to the community. Already, the community has taken a beating thanks to organizations like Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Taliban, and such kind of organizations. Now, when you have someone not from the organizations, ISIS, not from these organizations, but a normal, and when they come, these youths, they come forward and they disrupt an Easter celebration. Well, first thing, I am very surprised about it. And someone mentioned to me that, apparently Muslim faith prohibits any other person from any other faiths to celebrate his festival. No, that's not the case. I am not aware of any such thing at all. In fact, we've always been taught. In fact, we would look forward to Diwali and Holi. We still do. And we celebrate it with much pomp and show, in fact. And in the army, I always quote this, Vineet, that there is this place in Artillery Center in Nasik where there is a temple, there is a mosque, there is a gurdwara, there is a church on one square. And you can hear the religious chants of every single prayer house coming out from there. It sends such amazing vibrations. And it really is embarrassing. I think it needs to be called out. It needs to be called out when an educated, a right-thinking Muslim calls out that, listen guys, this is not cool, what you guys are doing is terribly wrong, and boycott them. I think then a change can come in, like that open letter of mine, which you also read, which I wrote to Jaish-e-Mohammed. It makes some difference somewhere, and I believe the society will not change unless and until we change our own selves. So yes, it is about time. We have to call out a spade, we have to call out a shot, but that does not mean you end up painting one entire community with the same brush. You cannot say. And if you see in Spain and in Spain per se, they are basically they have a very anti-Muslim sentiment and an anti-immigrant sentiment, which means, like in India, we are very careful about our national security. When for example, the Rohingya Muslims, we are very careful about it, whether to permit them inside or not, or whether to give anyone nationality or not. So we are very, very particular about our country's security. But nations like Spain, they have not really concentrated on their internal security first. And that is why these things are happening. Yes, it has been done by fringe elements, which should be called out completely. And when people come out to say that they do not support it, I think it should make some difference somewhere.
To put your house in order. I mean, if a person like Mohammed Shah is here speaking very well said, appreciated. But at the end of the day, the community has to take on. I always say, Vineet, the silent majority has to speak up and own up.
I want Ali to come in on that. Ali, is it time for the silent majority to step up and make some strong statements?
It's about time, and in fact, from every community, not just Muslim community, violence in any form should be condemned. And yes, and it should come from a prime minister. In fact, when he speaks about violence or about bloodshed, people will actually take him seriously. Everyone, people who are not from his political party also would listen to him. When he says, okay, put off your lights, people will put off the lights. When he says, okay, do this, people do it, because he's our leader. We believe in him and we will follow him. So similarly, he should come out. He should actually come out and speak against the violence that's been happening. And I think it would be, as you rightly said, the silent majority should actually be people who make a difference, who have a voice. When they speak about it, it would make a message. It will send a message loud and clear home And yes, it would certainly make a difference.
All right, good points coming out of this very important debate, and these pointers